Hey, today. Hey, today's Thursday. Are you ready for us? All right. Hey, guys. Welcome back.
Welcome. It's me, Rosie.
And Jazzy Fizzle Production Song.
And Jasmine.
Jasmine.
And today we are here with another video. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, like this video, and comment below. We want to know how long you breastfed your baby, and if you haven't breastfed, how long do you plan to breastfeed your baby? Today's video, we're going to discuss benefits of breastfeeding for mom
and baby.
Jasmine is one of my closest friends, and she was the first to conceive, first to be pregnant. So during her pregnancy, I asked, are you going to breastfeed? Just out of curiosity.
Of course.
I wasn't pregnant yet. And yes, that was her answer. So tell them why you decided breastfeeding was the only option for you.
Okay, so first of all, every time you go to the doctor, they ask you, are you breastfeeding or are you formula feeding? And I already knew off top I would be breastfeeding because I am, for everything, natural. And nothing against people who bottle feed, but
Right.
Why would I want to waste my time or money buying something that I don't produce? Like, I don't produce formula. I produce milk, so why not use it? Like, it just makes sense.
It does make sense. And you know they mimic the formula to be like our breast milk.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they do. So they try to, it's like a, what do you call that? Like a clone. They put things in it that mimics what our body naturally produces. Exactly. Okay. So Jasmine is all things natural. She's put me on to a lot of things like my toothpaste, deodorants to try.
Man.
She is. So that was her response. And for me, when I got pregnant, it just made sense financially.
That is the number one reason.
Yeah, like I'm not buying something
formula
that my body
like
produces.
$23.
It's like $24 or something.
I'm not buying that. Babies eat a lot.
Yeah. And so another thing that my husband Anthony brought to my attention is no other mammal drinks another mammal's milk.
They don't. That's a known fact. You're not gonna catch a cow drinking from a chicken. You're not gonna catch a zebra drinking from a horse. Like, it's not happening. So I'm not drinking a cow.
So why are we giving cow's milk to our kids? And I think a lot of it goes back to like patterns. Mm-hmm. Because I had discussed this with a woman from the Welcome Baby program. Okay. And I had told her that fact, that no other mammal drinks from another mammal. And she thought about it like, well, I guess you could get calcium from other sources.
Of course, there's so many fruits and vegetables that you can get those resources from. It's not just from milk. So I will say later that like the benefits even for after one, because a lot of people think that after one, children need milk, and they don't actually need milk, and they're so quick to put them on cow's milk for whatever benefits, and breast milk still caters to a child even after one.
Yeah. Okay, so these are reasons why we decided to breastfeed. Asir is 8.5 months, exclusively breastfed. Rayleigh is 8 months, exclusively breastfed. And we're going to discuss some benefits. I was having a discussion with one of my friends about breastfeeding and how she was telling me her mom was never educated on the benefits of breastfeeding with either her or her sister. So she was pregnant twice, was never educated. And then not only that, but still believes to this day that there's no benefit in breastfeeding.
And that's crazy.
Because of the miseducation of our mothers, my mom told me she only breastfed until she went back to work. And I think you get 6 weeks off, right? Yeah. Normally. So she did a little bit, but I was on formula. What about you?
And my mom was really young. So at 15, she was 15. And I don't think she really tried. And my mom not having her mom and being raised by her dad, she just really lacked the knowledge and the support to keep going. So if she did try, and I think she did, she just gave up.
Okay.
Because of the lack of support.
Okay. So we are your support. And we stand by breastfeeding. We stand by being knowledgeable about all of the benefits, not only for the baby, but for you as well as mom. So here are some tips that we found during research, and we hope that they help you. So tip number 1, this is what I've discovered. I'm going to link the articles that I read to find these tips for you guys down below in the description box. But the first tip is breastfeeding. Studies show that breastfeeding reduces your risk of getting breast cancer, ovarian cancer, type 2 diabetes, rheumatoid, arthritis. So that's tip number 1 for breastfeeding benefits for mom. What do you have for baby?
Provides nutrients. Babies need nutrients.
If you thought that your breast milk wasn't enough, that's a lie.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Every single thing that your baby needs is in breast milk times 1,000.
Okay. So tip number 2 that I found during my research is breastfeeding can reduce your stress level and your risk of postpartum depression. And then I just want to read a little bit more about why that is. So, numerous studies in animals and humans have found that oxytocin promotes nurturing and relaxation. Oxytocin is a hormone released while nursing. It also helps your uterus contract after birth, and it results in less postpartum bleeding. You know that?
I definitely know that I didn't bleed that long, and it really helped with like getting everything into order, because you remember right after I had him, I was like outside moving around on the porch, and I was ready to be, outside. I wasn't laying up in no bed. Like, breastfeeding helped everything just get back into order so much quicker, because with my first birth, I wasn't able to breastfeed, and I just had to let it all dry up and just happen in whichever natural state it had to. But I bled for a lot longer. I was in a lot more pain for a lot longer, and I just didn't know what to do with any of it. Like,
I want to say that the first birth, you could have breastfed.
I could have somebody. I needed somebody to breastfeed or pump it, save it, something, donate. I could have did something, but they didn't give me any knowledge of what to do. They didn't tell me anything. After I had my son, it was just like they just kicked me out the hospital and gone about your business.
Okay, so we live, we learn, and now we're sharing with you.
Yes.
So, I did bleed, but I had a C-section. Jasmine delivered vaginally.
Woo. Both times.
Yes, both times. And but my bleeding wasn't. I don't know what other women's experience is with bleeding after a C-section, but I did bleed. I don't think it was abnormally long or anything like that.
No.
I did it for about 6 weeks.
Yeah, it was about 6 weeks, and after that, it dried up, and I ain't seen nothing since. That is a plus. We are what, 8 8 months in, no period.
Oh, and I have another video where I'm gonna talk about my experience with a doctor telling me
something's wrong,
crazy stuff
because
they're not educated about breastfeeding and all of its benefits. So look out for that. Okay, your tip number 2.
Okay, tip number 2, about the nutrients. Breast milk has a lot of nutrients, and it also carries nutrients at each stage, and it grows with baby. So at stage 1, you know, you have colostrum, and you know they call that the liquid gold. It is high in protein, low in sugar, and loaded with beneficial components. And just with each month that the baby grows, everything that the baby needs is in that breast milk. And formula, I'm like, do they have different stages? I don't even know.
I don't know. We're really not educated. Because listen, we do not want to come on here and act like formula wasn't created for somebody out there that might need it and benefit from it. We don't know. We're just not educated. We're ignorant when it comes to formula. So if that's something that, you know, you need, please go look for resources that can help you with finding out those details. But we seriously, honestly, just don't know. I want you to talk about how we were having a discussion. We always have talks. And you were telling me about the mom who had one child who wasn't sick and one who was.
Okay, so I saw the babies were at 2 different ages. One is a toddler and one was like maybe 5 months old. And one baby was sick and one baby wasn't. And the mom was what they call, I think, tandem feeding, when you feed both babies at the same time. And she even pumped it out, and the milks were different colors because the baby that was sick needed more antibodies in that baby's milk, and the other baby, you know, didn't need as much, so it was different. So it adjusts to the baby stage. It's wonderful.
So that goes to the nutrients and the stages, and it shows you that your body is
powerful,
amazing, to where one is distributing certain things for that child and the other. Like,
just being one body and 2 boobs, and you can produce 2 different things
for whatever the children need. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
Okay, so for mom, tip number 3 is the release of good hormones, prolactin and oxytocin. Prolactin is the hormone that helps us produce milk. And oxytocin, I mentioned earlier, how it is released while nursing, and it helps your uterus contract after birth, which results in less postpartum bleeding. I'm going to put the definitions of the terms that I want to stand out on the video just so that you can view it and it makes sense. Go ahead, tip 3.
Tip 3, it is easily digested. Now, I hear that a lot of babies who are formula fed, you know, have digestion problems and stuff like that. Breast milk goes right through you, and you don't have those problems. It's meant for them. So they drink it, they poop it, they pee it. It's just that simple.
Yes. So I've noticed since introducing solids that Rayleigh is a little constipated. And I often give her water to help push it out.
And the key of when introducing solids that I've read a lot of, and a lot of menus that, you know, like starting to feed your baby solids is to always breastfeed before that session and after.
Yes, I read that.
Because it just helps it all flow. Because I have noticed that when I feed a seer that he's constipated or whatever, and they have that 3-day rule that you wait when introducing different solids to your child. But I really don't have to wait that 3 days, because as soon as I feed them and breastfeed them, it comes right out.
It comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't experience constipation until the introduction of solids, and specifically the baby food in the jar is what I'm talking about. She was like straining at times to push it out. It comes out, but it's uncomfortable.
And I guess it depends on what they eat too. Like I've noticed with carrots, I guess the consistency is a lot more thicker because it doesn't happen when he has green beans or sweet potato. Like that runs through easier, but carrots is I guess harder to digest for them. Yeah.
Okay. Tip number 4 we already hit on in the beginning, but for mom it's less expensive than formula. Period. Breastfeeding. You will invest in a pump. You will invest in breast pads. You will invest in a bra. You will invest in
a good nursing bra.
Yeah, you will invest in a nursing bra. You will invest in storage bags. But besides that, those investments aren't nearly as costly as formula would be. Especially if on our previous video, Registry Blues, I mentioned checking with your insurance to see if you qualify to get your breast pump through your insurance. So that right there would be a reduction of cost. And a nursing bra, you can get one for $25.
Like a mom hack. So you know how she said that you're gonna need breast pads. Now you might think that it's gross, but it's really not. Reusing your breast pads. They have reusable ones, and even if you buy the disposable ones, if you didn't leak that day, there's no need to throw it away. You can reuse it.
Jasmine taught me that.
Like you're wasting your money by doing that. Like it's your body.
Even with the milk storage bag, she told me to combine from both bottles into one storage bag instead of
that's another mom
putting
bag.
2 ounces in 2 different bags and not filling the bag up.
Nope, fill it up.
She's a genius.
Even if it takes 2 sessions to fill it up to 6 ounces, because you can't put more than 6 ounces in a breast pump bag. You have to make sure that when you mix the 2, that they have to be at the same temperature. So if you pumped earlier and it's already waiting in the refrigerator and you freshly pump, you still have to put that into the refrigerator, get them at the same temperature, bag them, and freeze them.
Y'all are getting the liquid gold. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that was tip number 4 for me. What's tip number 4 for baby?
Tip number 4 for baby. Not really a tip, but a fact that the only nutrient that breast milk does not have is vitamin D, unless the mom's vitamin D intake is really, really high. So you're going to be asked by a pediatrician to give vitamin D drops. And that's something that I probably wasn't too on to giving to a seer, because we were outside so much and, melanin rocks.
And I told
we
her to
automatically
give him those drops.
I did, but I didn't always. But
she didn't.
He gets most of his vitamin D from the sun.
So you were saying he gagged a lot.
Yeah, he gagged
with the vitamin D drops. So there is another alternative. I will insert either an image or the name of it in the clip right here in the video. there's another alternative. You drop a drop on your nipple and just let him feed.
Oh, okay.
And it's the same equivalent as giving him that whole.
And do you still give them to her? Oh.
Yeah. It's the equivalent
I
to
use those same drops and just drop them.
But it's too messy. So this one literally is just a drop. It's like cleaner than that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, syringe.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll definitely link that for you. But yes, vitamin D is something you would have to supplement your child with if you breastfeed, which you should after this video. Okay, tip number 5, which is, I believe, my favorite tip. I saw a post on social media. It said, my wife is too lazy to bottle feed. That's me.
Oh my goodness. I'm not lazy when it comes, but it makes it so much easier.
No, I'm talking about formula.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I'm too lazy for that life. Tip number 5 is that breastfeeding is convenient. Period.
Oh my goodness.
Convenient.
I'm feeding him right now.
Yes. And during the night, me and Jasmine used to be so happy once we figured out how to feed them and sleep at the same time. When they would wake up every 2 hours.
I was like, wait, what was I doing all this time? Why am I getting up? Like,
we didn't know. Watch, the next babies, we lit.
Man.
So it's convenient with night feedings. You put them on the boob. You go back to sleep. And everyone's happy. Period.
Maybe your husband won't be if the baby's in the bed with you guys, but
maybe he'll have to go to the couch.
Maybe.
But tip number 5 is it's convenient. What's your tip 5 for a baby?
Breast milk contains important antibodies. Breast milk is loaded with antibodies that help baby fight viruses and bacteria. And at its high in the colostrum stage. So, like I said, colostrum is the beginning stage of milk, and it is fully packed with everything that your baby needs. So even if you, mom, are sick and you think that, oh, I don't want to get the baby sick, so I need to stop breastfeeding and give formula. No. Your body will create an antibody and make a shield between you and baby, so you're able to still feed baby and he won't get sick.
Isn't that amazing? I remember Jasmine was a little sick. Maybe like 4
it wasn't
months.
A little, it was a lot.
Oh yeah. And I was like, how did that affect the seer? And she's like, girl, he's fine. He didn't get sick at all. And I was like, what? Oh, it's so amazing. Okay. So tip number 5 for baby is no matter how mommy is doing, baby can still thrive. Breast milk is magic. Number 6 for mom is it's good for the environment. Do you want to expand on that? I know it's my tip, but all I can think that means is less formula cans.
Less formula cans.
Bottles being made, maybe. The plastic.
Yeah, especially for like those bottles that have those little inserts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tell them how you love breast milk. Tell the people. Come on, tell them.
I love it.
Tell them.
So you just had some?
Give them your tip. What's your tip, Asir, for breastfeeding? Huh? Yeah, it's good. I heard that. It's good. So, tip 6 is it's good for the environment.
Tip number 6, breastfeeding reduces infection risk. The number 1 infection that babies get are ear infections. And breastfeeding reduces this risk by 50% for moms who at least breastfeed for at least 3 months. If you breastfeed for even just 3 months, you can reduce that risk. Also, some other infections that it reduces is respiratory tract infections, cold infections. It lowers these risks by 63%. Gut infections, intestinal tissue damage, SIDS. That's also number one.
Sudden infant death
syndrome. And the reason being is because breastfed babies wake up to breastfeed so much. So that
formula babies don't wake up as often?
I guess not. I guess it's so much heavier on them, and they sleep longer. And I hear that a lot of formula fed babies, they're quick to put cereal into the milk, into the formula to help them sleep longer, and that's not. And because back, what was it, tip 2, 3, it's so easily digested, so it runs right through them. So they wake up more to feed more. So that already decreases the chances of SIDS, because in SIDS, they die in their sleep. The baby's not asleep if they're feeding, so right there. Allergic diseases, inflammatory bowel disease, diabetes, childhood leukemia, and those are some things to name. A few.
Just a few.
Yeah, just a few.
That's amazing. I had no idea about the SIDS. I mean, I heard that, but I didn't know that formula-fed babies slept longer. So that's very interesting. Okay, tip 7 for mom is maternal fulfillment. I can attest, Jasmine can as well, that breastfeeding your child definitely makes you feel needed, worthy.
Sometimes it makes you feel like they're just using you, and all that they want is this, but they need mom.
Needed.